hello to all you rad people out there from whatever rad time you're watching in whatever rad place. You know the drill. I'm Ryan.
And I'm David.
And that together makes us rad.
Rad! Ladies and gentlemen, I am very fortunate to be introducing you today to two guest speakers. We are extremely fortunate not to have one or, we're just getting a plethora of guest speakers these days, Ryan. But may I please introduce you to
talking to each other? I mean,
I enjoy talking to you, but having like larger groups has always made a great dynamic lately, actually. So, if you got a topic, remember, bring it on the table. All right. So, furthermore, let me introduce you to Salome and Manuela.
Hi.
Hey guys, how's it going? Everyone doing good?
Doing good.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, tell us the topic you wanted to bring to the table today.
The newspaper.
Yes.
Cool.
The newspaper. Very cool. And what specifically about the newspaper?
Well, we want to talk about what we're doing right now. Do you want to know?
Well, I mean, I'm honestly a blank sheet of paper right now. You guys are the ones who are supposed to write this blank sheet of paper. So please keep us informed.
We want to let you know how is this working project from our homes, and which one is the idea that we have for our future.
For the future. Ooh, okay. All right. We did a topic on the future. Yeah, very cool. So what is it about the Tren that you guys really enjoy working on?
Well, do you want to talk? Okay, I'll go. Our newspaper, El Tren, is amazing. I mean, I love our crew. I love everything about it. I love working with people. I think my favorite part of working in the newspaper is, I say working like it's actually a job. It's not really just a project, but my favorite part of working with this is the people. I get to talk to them. I get to give them opportunities. Something I really liked lately was that we had this interview with an amazing girl who used to work at drawing cartoons, and I was thinking I could do it because I'm the director. But then I gave it to one of the students that I think has done a really good job doing interviews, and then he texted me Saro, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. And I think that's beautiful. I think just the satisfaction of knowing that we are allowing people to develop their self-expression, forgot how to say the word, is just amazing.
Fantastic.
Well, I like the part when I learn different things from different people. So, for example, I am the one that works in the audiovisual and photographs and all that things. But also when I talk with the group of kids that work at the writing part and things like that, they teach me things that I didn't know, and also knowing a lot of stuff that I didn't know what's happening in the world and in the city. I really like that.
That's a good point that you bring up there. Yeah. Being informed is the critical element of a newspaper, being informed. Yes. And it comes in many different forms, I think, information, visual, actual text. Nowadays, people send emojis, and for some reason, we're like, oh, that's information to me. But I'm like, oh, okay, well, if you say so, let it be. Yeah, an emoji can be information that tells me something about the world. But we live in a time where information is key, absolutely. And I'm glad that you guys are so interested in delivering information.
Also, the part that we are really supported by the students and the school itself, because we have everything we have wanted. We prepare the t-shirts, and also the students really like the page and help us writing stuff and sending it to the newspaper for us to publish them in the other edition. So I like this is a good project that the students want to have in our school.
Yeah, we have gotten a lot of acceptance from school. It's really good.
Also from families, for example, in the entrega de informes. We
Yes,
like told them which one was the
definitely.
project, the idea, and then we got like a lot of views in the noticiero. Yes.
Maybe you could just give us a little bit of context as to what you've done so far, because the
Okay.
newspaper is
Yeah.
a new project this year, right? It's something that maybe even still some people haven't yet discovered, and so how did we get to
Okay.
this point?
Well,
What have we done so far, and then maybe what
um,
our future look like?
okay. So the newspaper started one day when we were in 10th grade because we were working with our Spanish teacher in articles, in opinion articles. And I came up with an idea and I said like, hey, it would be cool if the school had a newspaper because I remember, I mean, I'm not from Pereira, I'm from Bogota. And I remember my school there had a newspaper and it was so cool. Like everyone in the school, I mean, it was a physical newspaper. And everyone got so excited every time we had parent-teacher meetings because we got to read the newspaper from school. And I thought that would be nice. And so I started to do some digging, and I found out that actually the school had a magazine, kind of like an online magazine. And I talked to many people about it. Like I talked to people who were there, like Manu, she's been there since like forever, and she didn't even know about the magazine. So I wanted to do something that could keep people informed, that could create enthusiasm between students, and that people actually knew of. You know, that people wouldn't be like, "What? Oh, Tren? What's that?" Like I didn't want that to like fall into, you know, in a deep part of everybody's brain where they don't even remember it. So I wanted to do something that actually left a mark. You know, like I wanted to create something out of pretty much nothing. And so we began the project. I started it just with the Spanish teachers and a group of people. And in that group, Manu was there. And I saw that she was working really hard and she really liked the project. And so I pretty much asked her to be my partner in the project because she was going to be a really good addition to it, and I knew it.
And also, I remember that we had like this meeting with Maria Teresa and Ana Isabel when they told us like about the magazine, and they told us that it was basically managed by teachers, and they had like so not like a specific information, but general only about the school. So they was just like telling what was happening in the school, and it was only one point of view. That is the one of the teachers, and also they say that it wasn't like really constant information. They published like one per year or like 3 months. So we wanted also to like change a lot of things in the new newspaper that we wanted to do. And also we knew that Juliana, that is like the teacher that is helping us with the project, had also this idea, and she also wanted to like create this project by like with the students. So we basically talked to her and present like the project that we wanted. So then we decided to create the newspaper.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And you brought up a really good point actually at the very beginning part, Salome. You said, you know, how the newspaper at your previous school was, it brought a community together, honestly. And I find, you know, Ryan, I'm curious, did you have a school newspaper in high school?
Yeah,
where
we
you
did.
went? Yeah, yeah. No, same here. And I had some friends that would write in it as well. And, you know, the thing that I was always enjoying about reading it, I remember when I was in high school, was the fact like, oh, it's my buddy. Oh, my buddy wrote an article right here. You know, it was like I'm reading something, not knowing what it is, but I have a connection to what he or she is trying to, you know, provide information on. Yeah. So there's a natural, I mean, without even knowing what's going to be on the Tren in the future, people already feel a connection to that because of that sense of community, I think, right?
And also, I think
Yeah,
that we have
definitely.
a lot of options because, like a normal newspaper is just like only writing. But one of the advantages of having it like a virtual newspaper is that if you want to like upload a video, singing, or things like that, you can send it and we are going to publish it because it's different. So I think that is one like uh, of the points that the students like because it's not only writing. You can, for example, draw, and we have like this part when you see drawings, and I think that that's like why students like a lot of the newspaper.
Oh, it's interesting,
Yeah.
the whole digital versus print kind of conundrum, honestly. And, you know, for example, until 2012, my favorite magazine was Newsweek. And then they went all digital. And you can't find like Newsweek in print anymore, per se. But when it was like, it came out every single week, and it was like the information of what happened in the week, boom, in a magazine. And for me, there was a transitionary period of like being so used to something in paper. But I think today, you know, that whole digital world, honestly, is fundamental. And the fact that you can, it doesn't need to all be written. You know, you guys, like you just said, you can have videos, you can have pictures, you can have art, like all kinds of different forms. It's really cool what you guys have done.
Thank you.
Yeah. Actually, at first, we wanted to do it in a physical way. But then we started thinking about that. We started thinking like, hey, but we can upload podcasts, we can upload videos, we can upload pictures from kids from kindergarten. And then we thought like, hey, you know, it's not biblical times. We are in a time where technology is in its full expression, and we decided to go digital because of that. But right now we're thinking of having a physical version, like maybe once every 3 months for the parents to see.
Yeah.
And basically, I think that it makes like the world really interconnect by the internet. So I think that basically we can get to a lot of people having like the newspaper online that having it in like paper, like in physics, because it would be only for students, and we should do like a lot of copies on the planet, and we didn't want that. So I think that is better having it digitally, yes, digitally, for those parents to see like the newspaper at home and things like that. We
Absolutely.
can
Yep,
like have
definitely.
more people.
Oh, fantastic. And I think the good thing about the internet is the reach of it. You know, I mean, you could be in another country and all of a sudden have access to a newspaper locally in Pereira. That's the other big benefit of the newspaper is the national reach of it. You know, I mean, there's many small towns that I'm pretty sure Pereira, I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure they have, you know, a small local paper. But obviously, if they were
Yeah,
to
they do.
you know, digital and only digital, there would be access to it all across the world for that matter in that sense. So what you guys have done is actually like a key in your marketing plan. Absolutely.
Thank
I'm
you.
wondering how have you guys seen the student reaction to El Tren? Have you guys been able to see how much traffic the website is getting, or feedback from students on what articles they really enjoy? What types of things do the students want to see in the newspaper more? What's been the take so far?
I think that basically the participation, because if someone likes the project, they are going to like participate a lot and also like comment. And I have like received a lot of comments of the Noticiero Digital that they like a lot, that we are not only like writing the like what's happening at school, but also like having like another way to talk to people. So basically also the persons that like to join to the newspaper and send stuff, I think that's a good like way of seeing that they like the project.
Yeah.
I'm curious, have you guys ever heard of well, it eventually became, you know, a great big movie studio, but the Harvard Lampoon, the story of the Harvard Lampoon, which is you know, a newspaper much like yours, but it started from a newspaper and eventually reached becoming a movie studio. Have you guys ever heard the story of that?
No.
I think I have, but
Hmm.
I don't know.
So,
I think I heard my dad maybe mention it once, but
yeah.
nothing too deep.
Think about it this way: if you ever have doubts of, where El Tren can go, hear this story out first, and then say, oh yeah, no, I have no doubts. It started as a small joke newspaper in Harvard back in the 50s, early 50s, I think, mid 50s, if I remember. And eventually, the guys graduated from Harvard and they were thinking like, oh, we can go get real good jobs. No. We are not going to get real good jobs right now. No. What we've made during Harvard, we made a magazine that made people laugh, that made people feel like they're in a community. Let's keep this up. And they make, the notorious magazine of the 60s, the National Lampoon, which was very much like a joke magazine. And from the joke magazine, they got all this advertisement money being thrown at them. And then they're like, well, we're very good at writing. We really enjoy this. Let's take it even one step further. And of course, that's where they make the first movie, Animal House, and then they go on to make Caddyshack and all these other movies like for the next 20 years. But the origins of that started out with 2 people or 3 people, if I remember correctly. I don't remember. I know Doug Kennedy, he's the main guy. But, 2 or 3 people who started a magazine in their youth, and all of a sudden it led them to having a movie studio, So the actual like success story of that should, maybe give you guys some motivation or an idea of like, where El Tren can go for the future. Nobody knows. Future's never written. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of that, you guys do have some future plans for the El Tren, correct? It's not the idea is not just to continue with what we've got, but what's your future plans and how do you see this developing over time?
Our future plans are basically to actually connect all schools from Pereira, so we can make like a whole big newspaper. Right now, we're gonna reach out to 5 schools, and we're pretty much expecting this to really get to people, because we have researched and we have noticed that none of the schools here in Pereira actually have a newspaper or a magazine. They don't really have any media of information by themselves. So we want to make everything like not for them, but by us. I don't know how to explain it. Like we want that every student who actually wants to participate, so everyone can develop their self-expression. Like that's the main term. Like that's the key word to our entire junior project and senior project. Their self-expression, and I cannot even say it. Oh my god.
Yes, so like we want like those students to like have also the opportunity that we are like giving to the students of Liceo Taller San Miguel, because I had like these friends who like we are in a weekend and they say like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, no, I'm checking something of the newspaper of the school. And they're like, what a newspaper of the school, what is that? And I was like, no, it's like a newspaper when you like write or send something that you want to like be published, and you can like look news about the school, what's happening, or like at Pereira. So they were like, we don't have that in school. So I start thinking like, wow, it will be cool to like give this opportunity to those students that want to like join the project, and also like to continue with the leadership led by students, because as you see, this project is always made by students. We have like this like support, and also they teach us like how can this work like adults, but basically the students, we are the ones that create everything. We like do the edition part, we write the things that are going to be published. So we want also to teach them how to have a good newspaper, and for the persons that like want to be something related to a newspaper to learn how this could work.
Yeah, we have the amazing leadership of Juliana Javier, who's our librarian, and she has done an amazing job teaching us how to correct articles, how to edit. She's been an amazing leader, but everything we do comes from us, from our students, and we work with teachers. They send us their works, like what they're developing in their classes, everything, but it is all, like, I want to say, like, it's because of the students. Like, for example, I don't want to take all the credit for it because it feels wrong, but we have been doing, like, us students, we have been doing most of the work, not in a way that I'm saying like we do everything, but in the way that everything we do is because it occurs to us,
Yeah, so as Salome said, we have like this guidance by adults. So they tell us like, look, you can do this, this, or this. And we as students decide which one is like the way we want to go. Okay. So it's basically an idea that students had, but the adults help to be accomplished. And also we wanted to like make this podcast a little bit like, I don't know how to say, like, special. Yes, we want to make it special, so we wanted to like let you know which ones are going to be like some of the schools that we have in our minds to like collaborate with the periodico. So basically, we have
like an exclusive announcement.
Of course, it is, because basically,
well, it's the announcement of the schools that we're gonna reach out to.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. All right.
And also is that the persons that work in the newspaper, they also don't know about this information, so it is special.
It's you're gonna be the first ones to know.
I feel so entitled. It's a privilege to hear this brand new news. Let's go.
Yes. So we have the Calasanz, the Angloamericano, the Liceo Inglés, Liceo Francés, and Gimnasio Pereira. Those are the first that are going to receive a letter from the school, like inviting them to join to the project, but also we need to do like some presentations and things in their schools.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, we need to do some capacitations and everything for them to actually participate. We also need to see how enthusiastic they are about the idea, because we cannot have like a school that just says like, yeah, we'll do it, whatever. We need to actually know that they are going to want to do it, and that they're not doing it just because they want to look good.
Yes.
So basically for that, and to keep going the newspaper, because we don't want it to end when we graduate, we are going to have something like a competition to be the new director and co-director of the newspaper. So from the school that has the best participation, that has best leadership, that has like one of the best articles and publications, we will be deciding the next director and co-director for the newspaper, so it can, keep existing a little bit longer after we graduate.
And also, like Salome, we want like these students from other school and from our school to like participate because they want to participate, not like just for something else. So only we are not going to have like a director in our school, but basically we are going to find some persons that will be in charge of seeing how their school is participating. So for example, we are going to, like, for example, going to the Calasanz or to the Inglés, have the presentations and see and give them like the option to some students that we see that they are interested to be like the directors of each school, for us to like have more knowledge about what's happening in the school, because we are not going to those schools each day. We don't know how they are going to work, and we need to know how is like the participation in each school. So that is an important thing that we wanted to tell you.
No, what
basically
sorry, go ahead.
the model of student leadership that you guys have sort of developed here for our school, you want to replicate that in other schools as well.
Yes.
Exactly.
But one thing that is important, like to leave really clear, is that this project is all like it's going to be edited and all that stuff from our school. We are not going to like let any other schools to like have that power of change, something that we have work on, because that is not.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know, the what I find interesting is the management structure that you've just described, honestly. You know, having a director in each school overseeing those individual schools, not having cross-referencing, if you will, and a competition for the executive director. It really, you know, nothing motivates people like competition, I find. And, you know, for you to that honestly as a possibility is fantastic. It's genius, actually. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Is that turn really big? So basically, like in a company, is like the first one that is in charge of a lot of things, that just like seeing how this project is going to work, and then we have these little persons that are in charge of another things. So basically, we are like in the first like level of the company, like seeing that this project is working, having everything organized, and those persons that are there helping us in other schools, they are managing that their school works and that things. So we are turning this like in a big project.
Yeah, and also I want to, say that even though we are like the director and the co-director of the newspaper, we're not like, we don't work as, like a pyramid. We're not like the top of it, and then we're looking at everyone to down. But we are actually, we work with the people. Like we are always reminding people that they don't work for us. Like they don't do the articles for us. We do the articles for our institution. Like we do the articles, we do everything we do for the people in Liceo Tallo San Miguel. It's not go talk to Salome and Manuela because they're in charge. It's just everyone talks to everyone because we all decide what's best and what's not. So it's all just a big like family. We're not like, we don't want people to be afraid of us because we have power.
Yes, that is very important what said Salome. I like that in our school, the newspaper is not like we as co-director and director of the newspaper make the decisions, but we like put it on the table, and other students that are in charge of different things, they also put another idea, and we as a group, as a family, that Salome said, we decide which one is like the best idea that we wanted to be implemented in the newspaper.
Oh, very cool.
Now, I was wondering, are either of you ladies considering journalism as a career after you graduate from high school? Because now you're about to, well, we're almost winding up 11th grade here, headed into 12.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got to start, sort of thinking about those types of decisions. Has this affected you in any one way or the other? Against it, for it, or you're still undecided?
Yeah, I actually am. I mean, I have always loved anthropology. Every single year of my life, I've always said that I want to be an anthropologist. And now with the newspaper, it's making me doubt it. It's making me actually think to work, like to choose like a major in journalism, or a career in journalism. But I don't want to give up my other career either. Like I want to maybe join them into creating a bigger force.
By my side, I think that yes, because in the newspaper, I'm most like in the part of audiovisual things, like photographs or videos. And I started thinking like what it would be like being a professional photographer or things like that. Because also with the TSM and they also like show me some options of what could
It's
happen.
really good.
So that like really start changing like what I wanted for the future. If being an architecture, military service, or photographer, I really don't know now.
A wide range of options, but very nice.
Yes.
No,
And
but
how about?
sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
No, I'll just ask one more question, and then I'll shush. How does bilingualism play into the Tren? Because our school is bilingual, and many of the schools that you mentioned that would also be participating are also bilingual. So how does that work? I mean, is the is the newspaper open to all languages? Is it going to focus just in Spanish, or is it open to create a bilingual space?
It's open language. It's not. It doesn't really. We don't really focus just in Spanish. We want to introduce English a little bit more because we haven't really gotten the chance. Like we want to develop, the el rincón del lenguaje, which is a part where you can, like, we're gonna do some challenges in English and everything, but we haven't really gotten the chance because we just have 4 hours monthly to work on every publication. So it's not a long time if you see it that way. So we haven't really gotten the chance to work as good as we wish with bilingualism.
Also, I like to say that one was like one of the ideas that I had by like asking Salo if we wanted to include the Liceo Francés, because I would love to like have this third language in the newspaper. It would be really cool.
Cool. Yeah. So
The languages.
seeing French articles anytime soon.
Yeah.
David, do you have a question?
Yeah, no, when you guys said, when you guys were talking about what you wanted to study, I think, this aspect of what you're doing in terms of that investigation, into your own, inner processes is fascinating. But what exactly it would be because would you guys see a problem potentially with one school wanting to write about stuff internationally, another nationally, but then they're both fighting about, no, I want to take international, I want to do national, or how would the structure of the newspaper be? Or, yeah.
Well, we really have a little bit of everything. We have international, we have national, we have from the school, we have, a little bit of it all. But for example, if 2 people want to do the same article, like about the same topic, I think it would be good to, have like a council. So they could both like write the article and then send it to a council where everyone from 2 people from every school can gather and decide which one is the best one, without the biased people.
Yeah. And, I think above all, we live in a world today, like, we're on Zoom right now, the 4 of us, but we could have, 5 different newspapers all on Zoom discussing the layout of a newspaper that would come out, and that was something that I was thinking would be, what if 2 schools were fighting on a similar topic to, brush up and put into the school? That would be a situation that could evolve, of course, but I think the fact of like we live in such a communicative online world that wouldn't be a problem with, as long as communication was key. Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
I think there's such a variety of voices with anything that that also at the same time it would be nice to hear multiple perspectives on the same topic and give people that much more sort of motivation to think for themselves and to come to their own conclusions, I guess.
It could be one topic argued on the right and it's being argued on the left, and as the reader, that intrigues me even more, having 2 altering opinions to look at. Absolutely.
Yeah. I actually like to do this thing when
Right.
Sorry. Said when people are arguing over right and left, I usually like to try and go up.
Look at it from a
Yeah.
bird's eye view, if you will. Yeah, I hear you there.
Yeah, I actually like to do this thing when I'm writing an article about that's opinion based. I like to do it. I mean, if it has two sides of the story, I like to do one article for one side and then one article for the other one. I think it's a really good exercise for everyone to try, to actually to not be biased to anything, but just like to do everything, just like work and experiment with different types of view, because I think when we stay with just one point of view, we are so incredibly close-minded, and I don't like that. So I rather just do like a little bit of everything.
Yeah. No, fantastic. Very cool, guys. No, hey, I think what you're doing, it's inspiring, honestly, and I wish you guys the best of luck, because I'm incredibly interested on seeing the direction of where this goes in the future. You guys have done awesome with El Tren so far. I remember donating some students stories like last in the second term, and I'm just really cool what you guys are doing. So keep it up, definitely.
Yeah, and hopefully in the future we can see more people, I think, taking these types of passions and realizing that like something that you're interested in, something that you like to do on your own time or outside of school time, can also be applied to how you spend your time in school. And I love that you guys have taken this idea seriously as your senior project. I mean, everybody kind of in some way dreads that big thing that you have to do in 12th grade, but if you can do it about something that you're already interested in and that you feel passionate about, then it's not even going to feel like work. I mean, it's just going to feel like just what you have to do to develop it, right? And so I'm really
that's what it said to Manu when we were trying to come up with the ideas for the junior project, because we were like, I don't want to do it about something that I'm not passionate about. And then we thought, let's do it with a newspaper. But what can we do? Inspire more people. But in the school, that's already happening. Why don't we take it a step further? And then we said like, hey, why don't we do it in Pereira? A total Pereira. And then we came up with the idea, and now we're actually gonna try to make it happen. Hopefully make it happen.
What happened? We still like giving different ideas. So what happened if we do this or that? So we are like deciding which one could be like the way we are going to. We decided that we wanted to make it a national newspaper, and we are hoping it happens.
If you enjoy what you do, you don't work a day in your life. I'll tell you that. Absolutely.
Well, ladies, unless you have another exclusive announcement to drop on us or anything else that you need to say to the viewers, I guess maybe we'll wrap up there.
I think I have one.
Actually. Okay, let's hear you out.
But it's not like already like confirmed. We are just like having this idea. Basically, like we were thinking like which advantages can this quarantine like bring to us. So we saw that a lot of persons have like a lot of time in social media. So we decided to ask Hannah Jenny if we may create an Instagram page about the newspaper. So that it's another. Yes,
so that's in the works, huh?
We are going to publish like little segments of the publications that we have on the newspaper, and we will tell them that if they want to check more or read more, they could go to the Tren.
And speaking of that, why don't you, before we go, why don't you give us that website again? Just remind people who may have forgotten or...
Okay, I'm going to show you, but wait 1 second.
Please log into www.tren.org. periodicoeltren.com. Yes, I've always wanted to do that. Go to the link below.
To the link
and
below, everyone.
check it out.
Point below. Yeah. Let's just point below, right there. You're going to see it flashing right there. Yep. Right here, right there. There you. Okay. Yep. You see it? Okay. Click on it. All right.
Yes.
We're gonna create a little bit of mystery because we have said too much.
We are going to change a lot of things in the
You
newspaper.
best call Scooby-Doo if there's mystery. Oh my goodness, we already got Shaggy on the podcast, so we'll be good.
Okay, so I'm going to share the screen for you to see the newspaper.
And ladies and gentlemen, here you have the newspaper. Very, very nicely done, guys. Very nice. All right, LTSM News, Especial del Día Idioma.
You can see everything. Go.
Right, folks, if you want to see what's going on in El Tren, you have to go open the page yourself. We can't show it all to you on the podcast.
Yes.
All right, everyone. So on that note, we thank you for watching The Rad Show. And we want to thank once again our star guests of the day, Salome and Manuela. You guys did a fantastic job, informed us of the fantastic newspaper that you're doing, and we really look forward to reading it in the future. So thank you, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, guys, once again, I am Ryan.
And I'm David.
And together, we are keeping it
rad. Okay.